One of the things we touched on in the last session was integration, okay? And if shipping fully integrates with the global transportation networks, like intermodal transportation, and its supply chains, what will the future look like for ship owners and operators? Thomas, yeah.
It's a difficult question to answer, but I think it's, from my perspective, I believe in system value and that you're able to deliver more to the customers than just particular transport from port A to port B. And being able then to have tagged on services to that. And the big question is then how can you utilize connectivity in order to make a seamless operation, which is a good value proposition to our customers. And there's no doubt that connectivity will assist in that whole equation. But it's very difficult to answer what will the industry look like.
Where are the big challenges with connectivity? Oscar, Walter, Heikki, yeah, please.
I think today is the reliability of connectivity if you really would like to go to remote controlled ships and things like that. For the normal things we do today, it's not really a big challenge. But all of this is coming. I mean, we must see that, the development in the communication area, field is very rapid and everything is getting better and better.
So how far are we away from these remote type of, let's say, even driverless ships? I mean, we may have a driverless car soon. We do have driverless cars already. They're just not, on the road legally. Yeah.
Basically, the small local ones, ships that we are going to develop, they are 3-4 years away.
3 or 4 years away.
But that's local ones. That's not international shipping because the rules are really that stipulates when the international shipping is coming in place. But technically, a remote controlled road ferry or something like that is something we could do in 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, Walter and then Heikki, yeah.
I think that, typically we overestimate how fast technology shifts will come, particularly digital ones, and then we underestimate the impact when they come. And I think we talk about sensors, connectivity, big data and so on. It's all part of a bigger thing. And I think we also talk about intelligent ships. The real disruptive change here is going to be not only the ships, but intelligent fleets, intelligent operations, intelligent manufacturing, maintenance. And therefore, I think there are 3 important questions, because it is actually beginning to happen now. It's not that this is future, the technology is there, but it's actually beginning to happen on ships between suppliers and customers. And the first question is, are we now ready to understand that we have to have open architecture integration platforms for everything that happens, because proprietary systems, the times of the proprietary systems for suppliers and players in this industry is probably over for good, hopefully. Open platforms is the first question. And the second question is, how fast can the industry, the suppliers, the users in this industry develop applications on top of that platform?
Heikki, your thoughts on that?
No, that's right. Yeah, I fully agree with what Walter is saying as well. Another thing is that, just looking as sort of private people and how we had changed our behavior with these mobile phones and iPads and things, that's the same in the shipping right now. So I have a challenge to adopt all these new apps and things, what I have my mobile phone right now. And I think that's a challenge what we have in the whole industry as well.
Yeah.
Just a quick comment. It's music to my ears to hear what Walter is saying about open architecture. I'd like to bring it one step further. I think what we should also look at as an industry here is open source, the utilization of open source components. At Marsec, we've done this research over the past, actually, 7 years, looking at how R&D budgets are being spent in different marine electronics companies to maintain those systems in-house and all that, still thinking in the old sole pipe way as it used to be. And we discovered that it was no different as in any other industry, for instance in automotive, that what it means is that up to 80% of R&D budget was spent within those companies, basically for everybody else to do the same, to keep on reinventing the wheel. So with open source, what we can do, we can start collaborating, just open architecture, but open source components, start collaborating on this, and then where our investment should go is that 20% on top, where our real competitive advantage sits and where innovation really occurs.
Yeah. Tor, yeah.
You said, I asked the question, how far are we away? And the technology has been there even for a long time, I believe. connectivity and reliability of the connectivity, as Oscar mentioned, is an important one. Another one, I think, is also the unmanned ship is not there yet because you have also an element called situational awareness. And of course, when you are approaching ports, etc., the situational awareness is very important. So we still have development to do on that side. And I think also, as was pointed out, regulations are not there for international shipping yet. And that's maybe the longest time horizon, or the blocker on the timeline, because it will take a long time to gain acceptance. But on the other hand, I believe that we can actually improve safety. We can use the ability to have remote operation, autonomous operation, to actually improve the performance of the human on board.
Yeah, Walter, and then Heikki wants to say something here.
We are a supplier to the industry, and when we see that customers are willing to pay for technology change, then we are getting close to the change. I think that we made an investigation how much data is actually on board a vessel today, and we found that maybe 60, 70, 80% of that data is flowing through the systems of the type of suppliers that Kongsberg represents. And then, of course, the next question is, how do you develop from that stage into a situation where you can actually provide a platform which is readily usable for everyone on board that ship, including the fleet management?
Well, you raise a question, answer it. How soon? Yeah.
You can visit our stand, it's there.
Okay. Give us a short answer now, though. Give us a teaser.
No, there are I said three questions, and I answered two of them. One was the open architecture platform, and then it's applications on top of that platform. And then the third one is, of course, security, data security, and encryption, which I agree with those that say that encryption or data security is more a matter of seeing that there's a challenge and doing something about it. But the situation now is that it is used by vessels, this system, and it is being actually used as a platform for integration of other types of suppliers, all types of suppliers on board a vessel.
Thomas, you wanted to say something, then Christina.
Just on the timing of this, I see this as a little bit similar towards as the green initiatives. So before the rules or regulations are in place, there's a couple of other things that needs to be there in order for it to fast track before the rules are there. One is that you need to be a little bit idealistic. You need to have someone who's willing to actually stick their head out and either try a new technology or go green in an area where they haven't been, with the backdrop, of course, of what's the commercial side of that, what's the upside. And I think the upside there is there's several things. And one is actually what you can offer to the market in terms of savings or what have you. But there is another part of that equation which I think is extremely important, and that's, say, the people of your organization. Because by being willing to go a little bit further than the stock standard, you should be a much more attractive employer. And the employees that you get should actually be people who wants to think one step ahead rather than looking back and just sticking to what has happened in the past.
Oscar, you wanted to add something there, then Christina.
Yeah, a little bit on this. On the regulation side, we know regulation in marine is not the fastest. And that's why, a lot of these things is going to happen locally, where one flag state can give the permission to demonstrate the technology. And there we will see the first uptakes of remote-controlled ships and unmanned. There are already a lot of flag states lining up who wants to do this. There are owners who are in these games. So, because the incentives are there are so clear economical savings and ways of improving the safety and operation of the vessel by going in this direction. So, it's really a lot of interest there.
Christina. Yeah.
Yes, just a comment here. I really like what Thomas is saying, and I wanted to add that it is very important to find those who are willing to try out new technologies, but they shouldn't be left alone to do that. So it is very important to try and find really real daily pain points that we're trying to solve here. So think big, but start small. And this is where, for instance, we can look at support for local governments, for instance, like even Innovation Norway or similar programs that would sponsor or co-sponsor such activities. There is a great example here in the Oslo Fjord, for instance, of the implementation of probably first in the world industrial Internet of Things at sea that is on board Bastufosen ferries. And it's been in operation since nearly a year now, and the first results we can already see today.